Okay, so actually, what this is, it's more of a discussion type. So like, I wrote these questions down that I don't know the answer to. That's the thing about discussions, that we discuss the questions. You know, I thought that'd be pretty cool.
It's totally flipped the script on us.
Exactly.
That's why we needed a Bible.
Yeah, because it's got the answers.
And
Okay.
a circle.
Yeah.
And the circle.
Also that. I appreciate you
For the
guys like
cube.
lengthening your time because
Thank you.
I talk too fast.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
Let's go to the first. The first one is Ephesians 4:2-3.
Because I was already in Ephesians.
Oh, that is confusing. It's like you looked at my board.
That's Ephesians.
Ephesians 4:2-3.
Wait, say it again.
Oh,
Four.
Yeah, 2-3.
Four? What?
Never
Four?
Oh, of course, that's the first thing
Okay,
that
thanks.
pops up on the
Ephesians 2. Wait.
Ephesians 4.
This is like a long time.
The message speaks is like 2 VI.
PH.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm just waiting till everybody gets there. Just lengthen it.
Let me
You're
introduce
there?
everybody.
I'll start now.
What version?
I'm using
What chapter?
Four.
This is chapter 4, verse 2, starting on verse 2. But I have the New Living
New
because
living?
that's what I got from Rain right here.
Oh, that's what I got. Oh yeah, I gave
I
mine
prefer the
away.
old living
It has your
translation.
name in it.
I know.
Wow.
Yes, I can read, Derek.
Go
Sounds
keep
good.
I
Okay.
know.
Alright.
2 to 3, what'd you say?
Is everybody there?
No, what?
I thought you said you were there.
I was, but now I'm not.
You there?
Switch my.
You there?
In the NLT.
You're the NLT? That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
me too.
That's the way to go.
That's right.
The New Living.
I have the translation that many people think Shakespeare helped write.
Helped
King
wrote.
James.
Helped write.
Can you say
Yeah,
it
King
again?
James.
I'm more of a New King James, but that's okay.
I just read it in the common English because
Alright.
that's normal.
Is everybody there?
It's common.
It's
All
very
right, so verse 4:2-3. Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance. Okay, actually, I should have started out. This is about this is we as the body of Christ, like we as a body of believers, essentially. So I should have started out with this. I don't know why I went to the verse immediately, but
I can't believe he did that.
Now we got it ready.
no, it's okay. No, actually, the reason I am doing this, it's been on my heart lately because I came from Stillwater, and like this is basically like a whole new group like that I'm not quite 100% used to because I'm away most of the time, and I thought it was important since we are a body of believers that we should rely on each other. We should understand that we are brothers and sisters in Christ, and we are supposed to we follow the same message. We follow, essentially that makes sense. But that's okay. I should not close the door.
Ephesians 4:2.
All right, so always be humble and gentle. Be patient with one another, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. Okay. All right. So the first question, the summary of what I got from that is there is a certain way believers in the church should act towards one another. And the first question is, what does making allowances for one's faults entail? Like, what does it mean to make an allowance for one another?
Having
Just
a-
understanding of other people.
Understanding? Just in general? What do you mean by that?
Everybody has their own faults. We're all weird in our own ways. So
Yeah.
if we can all just
Oh, that's very true.
understand each other's differences.
'Cause, I mean, yeah,
Where we
that's
all come from.
that does make sense because I guess being humble, does mean understanding what the other person is going through and not bragging about it. I guess.
Making it about yourself either. Like they're doing this to terrorize me, to annoy me, to hurt me when it's just that's how they are. That's how their family raised them. That's the kind of jokes they make. Allowances don't mean if it's inappropriate to just excuse it. It's
Yeah.
just, like Cole said, of understanding
Yeah.
where they're coming from. So that way, once you understand something, it's really hard to be angry about it.
Yeah.
Unless sometimes it's like just a very hateful situation.
Yeah, it's a very bad situation. Like, oh no, but yeah, that actually makes more sense, I guess. Like, not essentially not excusing what they're doing, but like, basically understanding, like being
They know
sympathetic
not
or
what they do.
yes,
Like,
Bam.
if you're in a situation where there's family domestic violence, like the parent hits the kid becomes a parent hits their own kid.
It's a
You
cycle.
understand where it's coming from,
Yeah.
but you know it's inappropriate, and that is a vicious cycle that needs to be broken.
exactly. Oh man,
Mm.
yeah, that's. Did you have something to say?
Oh,
that's a really good one actually. Like I hadn't considered it that way, but
This is kind of a non sequitur, but like what my church does is we have accountability partners. So if like someone messes up, like I have a friend who has a really big problem with marijuana, and like whenever he like does that, he like comes to me and he's like, "Hey, can you pray for me? Like I really messed up again. I'm like, yeah, sure, but you got to change. And he'll be like, yeah.
Do you guys find it hard to, I guess, keep everything accountable, or is it just like random times, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we're very specific
Okay.
because I'll be like, hey, I have this problem. If I ever mess up on this, like, pray for me and,
Okay.
make sure I don't do that again. But
Okay.
I'll also get to like someone else and be like, hey, this person's worrying about this for me. You worry about this.
Yeah. Somebody's always
So
right back.
it's like compartmentalism. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Okay.
That's a tough thing because then you get into carrot versus stick kind of
Mhm.
situation,
Mhm.
where do you get the better results from beating someone when they mess up or from encouraging them to take a different path,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like if Emma's walking down the street and every time she steps to the right, I smack her on the leg.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
glad
that-
you explained the carrot versus stick thing because I was thinking of a carrot on a stick when you said that.
Don't eat the stick.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I was like,
With a horse.
stick in the eye.
with
What's
a
the carrot
horse,
doing?
essentially.
Carrots in the other
Yeah.
eye.
What happens with a carrot and a stick, just so you guys understand, there's
Yeah.
a stick, right?
Yeah.
And if it turns this way, you smack it on the side of the neck, it goes towards the middle. If it goes this way, you smack it on that side. But a carrot, you just hold a carrot out in front of his face, and it chases a carrot constantly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's carrot and stick, right?
I got it. I did not know we
Versus
were talking about
stick,
horses.
not carrot and a stick.
Right, carrot versus a stick.
Carry
Yeah.
versus
So
stick.
like,
Carry versus stick.
this is kind of like, yeah. Sorry, maybe I should have used a
Carry
different
versus
analogy.
stick.
But the idea is, our church specifically, we believe strongly in the carrot.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
and so like,
For some reason, I think
Worship
thinking
the
that a carrot
carrots.
like has like a stick that's tied to a carrot on a string. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
That's-
that's
he
it.
was saying.
I think more like a
That's
carrot
it.
versus a stick. Like you hit the stick or you give them the carrot. Like
Well, yeah,
Or
the carrot. Like
or-
essentially, it's saying
or-
do what you're supposed to do, and I'll give you a carrot.
Yeah.
One doer
Instead of
has a
saying
stick,
you mess up, I'm gonna hit you.
Positive versus
and the
negative.
other
Yeah.
doer has a carrot.
So
That-
anyway,
that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, that makes sense.
Anyway,
My approach is a bit more sticky.
yeah, and so what I was getting at is
Jonathan.
that's
We
the
have
whole
the
point,
carrot.
guys. Come on,
Guys.
stay focused. So the whole point is I was getting at
Yeah.
is that's a very good way to kind of force yourself out of a bad habit
Mhm.
or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But we strongly encourage. It's not necessarily meant to be like this. Oh, you messed up. Let's correct this behavior. But it's like, hey, let's go do something else and not worry about this
Mhm.
thing that is going to get you in trouble. Like, hey, cool. Let's go to a movie. Just hang out. Go play video games. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like instead of hey, you're gonna sit at home smoke pot. No, let's go out and do something.
Yeah.
Like it's essentially
Provide an
saying
alternative.
here's a carrot. So I don't have to. So the stick is not
Yeah.
necessary.
Does
right?
it have to be a carrot?
So that's what I'm getting at. So that's kind of different mindset maybe.
Banana.
Well, we're not like, hey, we're going to shame you into being better. It's just like, yeah, we understand,
Right.
but let's
Yeah.
just talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's give you an alternative.
Like not letting that be the focus of the relationship. I guess.
Yeah.
Not letting that.
It's not like,
you're a
hey,
sinner, that's
I know
why-
what you did last week. It's
Yeah.
like, we're all struggling.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. But okay, that's a good point. Like I guess like hey, I'm hanging out with you because you're a sinner, not because you're a person. That kind of situation. But
Right.
Yeah, well,
What?
I'm not.
Well, if you're only hanging out with that person.
Oh, I thought you were making it like a declaration.
Oh,
Like,
no.
I'm hanging out with you. 'cause
no.
Eli was about to fight
no.
you.
He was like, I'm not.
He was
I'm
about
not
to
so
go
sure
down.
this is
He had the
right
stick and
now.
you had the carrot.
But that was okay. That's good. So the second verse is 1 Corinthians 12:12.
One second.
Love me some first Corinthians, man.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
12,
First?
12.
12.
First or second?
You're
1 Corinthians 12:12.
Oh.
Well, it's 12 through 24, but
Got
it's
it.
12.
First Chronicles?
Corinthians.
I also have it.
Confusing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody? Does
Me and
First
Emma.
Corinthians.
Yes.
Second opinions.
Amen.
12. Mostly Derek's hand.
Second opinions,
I
12.
hear your face. Not your face. You were like back of the
First Colossians.
Stop.
Third Ephesians.
Go on.
Okay, Emma, do you want to read it or?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The human body has many parts, but many parts make up one whole body. So it is with the body of Christ. So it is with the body of Christ.
I should mention that
Just
it's
that one.
12 through 24.
Oh, well.
Someone else
really?
has
Too
it.
much.
I think it's 12 through
One
24.
more.
No, 12 through 27. My bad.
I did have it, but now that you
No,
mentioned
12
that,
out of reading.
Okay, we can split it up. We can always split it
I'm
up.
going to
Wait,
start
12?
over.
Okay.
Yes.
What was his verse?
It's 1 Corinthians 12 through 27.
The
12
human body has many parts, but the many parts make up one whole body. So it is with the body of Christ. Some of us are Jews, some are Gentiles, some are slaves, and some are free. But we have all been baptized into one body by one Spirit, and we all share the same Spirit. Yes, the body has many different parts, not just one part.
Yeah.
Sorry. If the foot says, I am not a part of the body because I am not a hand, that does not make it any less part of the body. And if the ear says, I am not a part of the body because I am not an eye, would that make it any less part of the body? If the whole body were an eye, how would you hear? Or if your whole body were an ear, how would you smell anything? But our bodies have many parts, and God has put each part just where He wants it. How strange the body would be if it only had one part. Yes, there are many parts, but only one body. The eye can never say to the hand, I don't need you. The head can't say to the feet, I don't need you. In fact, some parts of the body that seem weakest and least important are actually the most necessary. And the parts we regard as less honorable are those we clothe with the greatest care.
You do.
So we carefully protect those parts that should not be seen, while the more honorable parts do not require this special care. So God has put the body together such that extra honor and care are given to those parts that have less dignity. This makes for a harmony among the members, so that all the members care for each other. If one part suffers, all the parts suffer with it, and if one part is honored, all the parts are glad. All of you together are Christ's body, and each of you is a part of it.
Thank you. That was a lot. I know it was a
Very
lot.
nice.
I should have trimmed a bit of that, but you did great.
Thank you.
Excellent
Okay.
job reading.
Yeah. Nobody could have done that here. Okay, so basically, all parts are distinct, yet all are equally necessary. Without one another, the body would not function well. At least I don't think so. So the first question is, why is it important that the body stays together? Like, what makes it so important? Like, why does the body need its ear versus its nose?
You need that unity as a team, and it mentions in the Bible a lot actually that where one person can be effective,
Yeah.
multiple people are much more effective.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the body of Christ, where maybe one hand can do the job. Using the whole body analogy, two hands can do a better job.
Okay.
Two hands are better than one.
Many
One
hands
hand
make
wash
light
the
work.
ceiling.
But then you have to make sure you don't get too many chiefs, like too many heads.
Yeah.
If there's like several senior pastors, it gets a little.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
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 That's good.
It is, but and that obviously comes down to figuring out where your role is, whether you are the hand or the foot, and something like that. And it also brings that whole how everybody, especially with the body of Christ, everybody is individual, but we all need to work together. And a lot of people probably take that to the extreme and are like, we have to be the same. We gotta think alike and act alike and stuff like that. But we weren't made to be like that. We were made to work together, but we were made to work together doing what we were meant to do individually.
Yes, and another point is, you know how some people have like, oh, this is my spiritual gift. This is my ability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is possible to have more than one ability, but some abilities aren't as. Because I guess like other parts of the body complement, like they help encourage and grow. So your spiritual gift will be at its
Right.
what God
Like-
intended it to be, instead of just perfect all the time.
Right.
Since birth, I guess. But
Could you imagine prophecy since birth?
oh, that'd be terrifying.
Faith healing. Like you have a backache, you
Yeah.
hold your baby, and you're like,
Yeah.
Baby, Rapunzel. No,
That's
But-
awesome.
yeah, that's gonna be great. Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, what does Paul mean that some parts of the body that seem weakest and least important are actually the most necessary?
your pinky toe. You can't balance without your pinky toe.
Whoa.
Or your big toe.
Oh, was it that one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's both.
Your ears.
Well,
Your ears
big
also.
toes could fall down. I think you
I
can
think
barely
it's just
touch
toes.
it.
I didn't know this was a thing. Is that really a thing?
I think it's
Yeah.
just toes and
I
toes.
know a guy without a big toe.
I guess you couldn't hold a guitar without
I
your
know
pinky.
that like with play productions and stuff,
Yeah.
like the tiny rolls are what make the show. If you keep
Oh,
a whole bunch of tiny rolls, can make something so big.
that
something
actually
so
is a
great.
really good point.
And it's a lot. It helps you. It's like the many hands make light work. A lot of tiny little things
Yeah.
can create one big thing or help you with one big thing.
That's
There's
actually
also
a good
that
point.
whole butterfly effect thing in respect of a body. Throwing one small thing out of whack can
Yeah.
mess up the entire machine.
Yeah,
Like a clock.
Right.
like
Or
a
like
gear.
with a car,
Gear.
like you take away like
transmission.
That's a big piece. That's a big piece.
camshaft sensor.
that don't make
Brake
words.
pads.
Those are kind of
Don't make
important.
up words. Brake pads.
But like the
Good battery.
I
Fluid.
thought there was blinker fluid.
Blinker
for,
fluid.
Mine broke.
Like, till like a few months ago.
Oh, man.
Somebody actually convinced you?
What?
She knows better now.
I asked my dad.
I should run down to the store for
Probably
like,
Jiffy
some
Lube
elbow
translates
grease and
something.
head and blinker fluid.
Yeah.
These guys must think I'm idiots. Elbow grease isn't a thing. But I'll be sure to get that blinker fluid.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know anything about braking pads like till mine like quit out on me, and it was not fun
It's
realizing.
the worst.
Yeah, because you don't stop.
Have you put them in yourself before?
No, I haven't. But
I
I
have done that on every single car I've freaking owned, and it's not fun.
it's not. It didn't look like
I'm
it was
so
fun.
tired of it.
It's terrifying actually.
You should just get
Do
like
you
a
use the
nice,
e-brake?
like a nice.
I worried that it might like
Let me just
wear
pull
away the
some
e-brake, so I was
money
like, you know
out
what,
of that.
it's fine. I'll just die. So it's good.
Just crash and burn.
Save the car, but
Just
not.
turn to the
Don't
ground.
use the emergency brake.
I get it now. Okay,
Like
so
it says service engine on, like or service light.
Maybe a car wasn't the greatest
it was a good analogy, like because
Machines.
yeah, because something small like a spark plug could like not start your car. Like what happened to me?
Here's a better one. A computer. You can throw one little thing out of whack on a computer,
Yeah.
like the
One
super.
pack of mustard.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm lost, but it's
All right,
okay.
keep going. Keep
Okay,
going.
so this is a discussion question. Is it okay? So as in verse, hold on. Okay, so so in verse 15 it says, if a foot says, "I'm not part of the body because I'm not a hand," that does not make it less part of the body. So the question is it possible for a non-believer to be part of the church?
It can. Yeah.
Ooh. That's
Maybe
tough.
eventually.
I'm sorry,
I mean,
yeah.
Probably.
Guess that depends on your definition of the church.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
body believers.
Well,
Then no.
Yeah, no.
If
If
they
they
don't
don't
believe,
believe,
they don't.
They're not
God
part of the
knows
body
they'll
of
be a
believers.
believer in the future.
I'm not getting into this one.
Yeah, sorry.
but
It's like-
every
seriously-
man, woman, and child has the Holy Spirit in them and can use
Yeah.
it. But,
So you're saying-
But they
saying-
have to. They have to
Mm.
accept.
they have to accept-
Jesus first.
Yeah.
They can't
But that's-
access that
So,
without
so you're saying
the
they don't
key,
belong in
the
a
one
church?
way.
Are you saying they don't belong in a church?
I'm not saying they don't
Church,
belong.
like
I'm
they-
saying that they can't.
So a part of the church and belonging to a church are the same thing.
I mean, the
And
door's open to everyone.
Yes.
Everyone is welcome into the church,
Yeah.
but they have to be willing
To stay.
to learn and to open their hearts to Jesus
Yeah.
rather than just be there to be there
Yeah.
or like be there to make friends, but they have to be willing. They can come into our church anytime they want, they can join everything anytime they want, but they have to be willing within their hearts and in their minds to
Yeah.
accept Christ.
Yeah.
So they're
It's
like
like
already part of a body, but like they just refuse to work.
They're like
No,
the-
Something
Well,
like that.
technically-
It's like
They
having a
won't
lazy eye.
like. Well, here's how it is.
They're the appendix.
No.
The wisdom teeth.
No,
Yes.
it's like okay. So look. So anybody can be a part
Yeah.
of the body,
But you said the
but they're
weakest
not
and
a
most.
functioning part. No matter what they try to do, they're not a completely functional part of the body until they've accepted.
But like
Jesus.
most, the
So, like,
weakest
they
and least
don't-
Well, they're
important.
not talking about a
graduates to, like,
church.
the
They're
gold
talking
ladder.
about the church as the bride of Christ, not
Yeah.
a place.
But isn't
Yeah.
the weakest and least important is often the most necessary? So is a non-believer the weakest part of the church? Is that what you guys are saying?
No.
No, they're the
No,
most
that's
necessary
more
because
like-
they're the reason why we need to be here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed
the
it.
words right out of my mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was the Holy Spirit talking.
But I should have phrased that better though. I apologize, guys. That was kind of a weird question.
Wow, smooth. If you had phrased that much better, we probably would have had that like.
Yeah, I would have
No,
answered
that's
that like 3
great.
minutes earlier.
All right. So our next verse is Proverbs 27:6,
Hold on 1 second. 27:6.
and it's not a long one. I think it's like pretty short from now on. So don't worry.
Uh-huh.
About
Wait, is it
We'll see.
27:6 or is it 27:6 through what?
it. 7.
Psalm 627.
Okay, hold on. Which one are we actually
Psalm 26.
Oh, wait, actually.
Proverbs.
Okay.
Sorry, I apologize. I got confused. It was Proverbs 26.
Proverbs 26 through Psalm Solomon 7.
I really messed it up.
Proverbs 26.
I'm sorry.
Song of Solomon 7. You're going a book and a half.
Proverbs.
Okay.
So like where are we
I'm
starting?
trying. We're starting on 27:6. No.
Sorry.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
26:7.
26:7.
Wait, that's 27.
Proverbs 27:6.
It's definitely 27.
Through 7.
Guys, I don't want to read it.
27.
Wait, the worst verse ever.
So
I can't
what?
believe how well that
Okay.
worked.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Who wants to read? Who wants to read this one?
I
I want you to say what it is.
Okay.
that we're
Proverbs
Like, what?
27,
6 through 7.
verse 6 through 7.
Got it.
Okay.
No,
I'll
26-7.
Stop it. Stop it, Eli.
Please, someone
I'm
pick
just-
on me. Someone
Who wants to read? Okay, who wants to read?
I still don't know what verse.
I got it.
Can we
actually-
read
yeah.
6 through 7.
It's this guy.
What?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Guys, Brant's got it.
Because I'm the only one that wasn't confused.
Can I read
Did
it?
you know who confused us?
I wasn't confused.
Proverbs,
Proverbs.
chapter 27.
Okay, I'm on the wrong chapter.
6 through 7.
Can I please read
No.
Psalms
You don't have a
26-7
Bible.
afterwards?
No.
No. Okay. Chapter 27. I'm sorry, guys. Chapter 27.
Sorry, I think it was hilarious.
Yeah, because you derailed the entire conversation. You stick you.
Actually, I have, I have the Shakespeare version. This is very poetic.
Are you sure it's Shakespeare or is it just
Cassie,
King
did you want to
James?
read it?
King
Sure,
James.
I'll read it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mine's in common English.
I would
Can I
prefer
read it?
to King James' newer work.
And it's 6 through 7, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trustworthy are the bruises of a friend, excessive are the kisses of an enemy.
And oh no, not 17. I apologize.
What the?
Verse 17. Verse 17.
Dude, what in the world?
Wait,
Should I just like put this in the middle
what
for
did he
everybody to
say?
see?
Yeah.
He said
The
Proverbs
iron
27,
sharpens iron first.
verse
Okay.
17.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
No.
Not the honey
stop.
one.
Say,
one-
start
that
over.
one's
What
gonna
is
be-
it?
Oh, it's this one.
What is
this
it?
one?
Proverbs
27.
27, verse 6. And,
No.
and 17.
No. Okay, so it's verse
Oh,
6, and then
6 and
separate
17.
And 17.
Oh.
Two separate verses.
Can
Okay.
someone
Two
else
separate
read?
verses, not
What
through.
did you say 7?
I'm so confused.
I'll read it.
6 and 17.
I'll read it, guys. I will read it. I'm sorry.
Please!
Forgive me.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. I'm frustrated. but
Okay,
it's
this
fine.
was okay. Sorry. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than the many kisses from an enemy. And verse 17 is, as iron sharpens iron, so does a friend sharpen a friend.
Bam. Can I break this one down?
Yeah.
The
You can.
meaning? So, because it sounds very confusing
Nope,
for
totally
people
wrong.
who haven't read the verse before. But the thing is it's saying that it's better to have your friend give you the harsh truth than to have somebody who's only trying to bring you down and ruin you tell you a beautiful lie.
So is that like all the people who suck at singing go on to American Idol? Like all their families?
Yes.
like,
Your family's like,
oh, it's so great.
yeah. It's
They
that-
lied to
It's
you.
better for
But
yeah,
in reality,
it's better for-
Simon's their
and they
real
made you-
friend.
That's a good way of putting it.
You are the worst thing I've ever heard.
It's a no from me.
Yeah, it's better to have.
That's a really good way of putting it.
That's actually because it would have been much better if their family had been like, you're not good enough to go
God
on that.
loves
Don't
diversity,
embarrass yourself.
but maybe not everyone else.
Because, like, there's at least a good hour and a half of every season of American Idol worst singers ever. And, like, they're the laughing stock of America, and I feel so bad for them, but
And
it's
if their
also
parents
so
had
very
just
much
hurt their
entertaining to
feelings,
watch.
Their families had just hurt their
We're no
feelings.
strangers to love.
But it's more, it's more heartbreaking than it is funny to watch.
Yeah.
But I do
Yeah.
watch it.
It's really depressing.
Psalms
So
26-7.
guilty.
No, I'm not. Stop it. No, stop. We are done. You can read that. Okay. So basically, you kind of answered my first question. Like, what exactly is a kiss from the enemy? So essentially, it's a beautiful. That's a really good way of putting it. Because Satan, like Lucifer, was a beautiful angel, and he
He's
tells.
not going to feed you direct poison. He's going to put it in your sweet tea.
Yes.
I don't like sweet tea.
I mean, yeah, you
That's
take one look at Satan and you're like,
That's
I
what's
want to kiss that man.
Some
Carrie,
poison the
what's
water.
your
I don't like sweet tea. It's nasty.
So in a
I only
non-school,
like one type of sweet.
I don't
in a
like
non
it.
guys, in a non-Sunday school answer form, who is the enemy? Like in a non-Sunday school answer, like I don't want devil, but like essentially like
Satan.
there's the door, there's another door, but that was his exit. So you know where I know where
That's a
it's
guy throwing
That was
rocks.
Oh.
He said non-Sunday school, so
that was a very
Lucifer.
italicized.
Okay,
Go.
I'm gonna use an analogy, or I'm gonna use a person that I used to be friends with.
Okay.
She's
The enemy.
okay.
Satan.
No, here.
She's not
Satan.
Satan. She's very
Mm,
confused.
Okay.
I would assume.
That's okay. Continue.
But
Let's use not back that
Come on, man.
okay.
Derek, tell me when we're almost out of time, and I'll speed it up.
Nope.
Time.
No.
So
Not
Nope,
close.
nope, not happening.
Hopefully that's what
5
you're
minutes
trying
in.
to say.
Yes.
Okay.
basically, like we're explaining the kiss of an enemy, but like non-Sunday school.
No, like basically, who is the enemy in that sense? Oh, you can give me an example of like a kiss from the enemy.
Okay, well, like, I don't, okay. Non-Sunday school version of it is, I had a friend
Okay.
who always told me I was, like, great and fantastic and blah,
Oh.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then,
That's good.
literally on my 18th birthday, I was trying to talk to her, and she, like, turned her back to me, and then, like, looked back to see if I was still there. I started talking again, she turned her back to me again.
Oh.
And, like, she kept it was just like a vicious cycle over and over again. She'd tell me the nice things, and then she'd do the mean things.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of like your enemy. That like I'm trying to
No, I got
understand what you're saying. I
No,
just don't know how
dude,
to-
you're right. I mean, that's like it's not. She doesn't have you in mind. She's essentially, I guess.
It's like frenemies.
Yeah, it's kind of like fun of me.
She's trying not to start drama. She doesn't want to deal with the confrontation of it, but she definitely wasn't feeling it.
It's like
Well, no, I was asking her. I was like, "Do you want to go to dinner with me?"
Yeah, and she turned away.
I don't like applebee's anymore.
Sure, let's go with that. That's what I wanted for my birthday.
I'm sorry. Okay, so this is a discussion question.
Sorry, that was awkward.
That was
good.
That was good. That was really good. That actually.
A kiss from an enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't a kiss, but it was.
So nice to look at
like
that.
a.
That's why my first question was like, what exactly is a kiss?
Hi, how have you
Kiss
been?
Mwah, There's no actual kissing going on. It's
No, okay. You know the French where they're like mwah, mwah, like on
French
the
kiss?
inside,
Yeah,
like they
they
don't.
use a lot of tongue.
No, French kiss is like this.
Can I have you guys?
That is so offensive to my culture.
We're
Done,
sorry,
you don't
Mr.
kiss people that
Brown.
way?
You guys done?
Hey,
I'm
you don't
running.
kiss people
I'm
like
running a
this,
circle
you
here.
Okay, you know,
Be there or be square.
The carrot. Use the carrot.
Really?
Where's the carrot?
You don't
Okay,
kiss your
resort to
calculator
the
like that.
stick.
You're like,
Okay, where's the stick?
hey, that calculator has a very
they're
special.
Hey, everybody! Let's get to business. Go ahead, Moshe.
Okay, so the non-Sunday school answer is temptation.
Who put you in charge?
Yeah. Well,
I'm the only one
Ca-
that's trying to keep us on
It's-
track.
it's-
But you don't say
okay.
anything.
Because those are the things that like
yeah.
try to like make our lives bad because we know we don't.
That's actually a good way of putting it. Yeah, like temptations. It seems enticing. It seems sweet, but whenever you do it, it doesn't end up helping you. It actually
yeah, it
makes
makes you feel bad.
That's a really good way of putting it. Wow.
I was gonna say temptations are well,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
Yes.
see it as friends who are purposely trying to mislead you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People. This is also I was gonna say.
Yeah.
People
Friends.
that aren't there for that are
Friends.
not there to support
Yeah,
you.
friend-
basically
Keep running
everybody up until like here.
Frenemies. Yeah.
People that are not there to support you.
This is good.
That's
That's a good. That's actually yeah. You guys are awesome.
We're all pretty smart. We all graduated high school.
What?
When?
That's true. I
Are
have
you gonna
a
still
whole
the
year
French
of
kissing
college.
video?
Thank you very much.
But what?
I don't think anybody heard that. I don't think anybody heard that. Okay. So our discussion question. Okay, this is. Their discussion question is.
Guys, the teacher's trying to talk.
Okay, when iron
Guys,
sharpens
the teacher's trying to
when
talk.
iron sharpens iron, does only one or do both people become sharp?
Both. Because
Both.
iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
They're sharpening each other.
Okay, so
So as you encourage somebody, does that in turn help
person-
encourage you?
Well.
No. One's for the better, one's for the like worse.
No.
It's like married couple.
No.
That's what I thought about it.
This is discussion. No, this is good. No, this.
I heard it.
it's situational because
Hold on, let her finish.
Yeah.
okay.
Let's hear the whole thing.
Like iron sharpens iron. Like they both become sharp. Well,
Because I know it's kind of a for people who are not familiar with it, it's kind of confusing. But no, say it. No, just
no,
work
I
on
know.
it.
I'm trying to.
Just trying to word it.
Yeah.
Just throw words out, and we'll kind of help construct.
Oh, yeah. Just
The person that comes.
I think that's
The person that Someone else go. Ugh.
I'd like to say something.
So much pressure.
Okay. This is what I've always heard. If there is a subject you want to know, don't just study the subject, teach the subject.
Yeah.
Because not only are you going to greatly help yourself by teaching
That's a
it,
good
because
one.
you'll constantly be, uttering these what you're wanting to know,
Yeah.
but also you'll be helping the person that is learning from you.
That's smart.
That's a
what
good
my
way of
what
putting
my
it.
head was going
Right.
with was not as smart as that.
That's what you're saying.
Like I've been thinking about this verse for like the longest time because I just love it. I like can never
It's a really
remember
cool
the-
words. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the iron can sharpen itself in many different ways. Like if you take a block and sharpen like a knife with it,
Yeah.
the block of iron doesn't get sharpened, but the knife does.
Okay.
But you can also sharpen it with another knife. So in that case, both of them get sharpened.
Yeah.
So I always think of that as you can either like have a fellow Christian and be like, hey, we're both gaining, or you can find someone that you look up to and be like, hey, like I want to be better and you can help me.
Yeah.
So there's different ways of what the different types of iron can be, but if
It's a good way. Yeah.
if you're looking for like a positive trait,
Yeah.
you can latch onto that. And if they see something in you, great, you can both sharpen,
Yeah.
But it doesn't always have to be a mutual relationship. You can always build yourself off of other people.
Yeah.
Which is why,
It's a really good book.
yeah, like I have a lot of different people who are, I'm just like, we're both good at this. Let's improve each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there's also some people I'm just like, I'm just gonna stick around you because I want to be better.
It's like
I want to leech off of you.
So the cool thing, so in this example, is that, like, for instance, if there's someone, like the youth group is a perfect example. There are a bunch of kids in there that just, maybe don't know what it means to be a functioning member of society and just,
They need to be sharpened.
Yeah. They need to be sharpened, right?
That was really forcefully sharpened.
That's really good.
What's the knife for?
Okay, so like everyone here, outside of the three of you, have volunteered, and Harrison actually, have volunteered in our youth group, and like, I mean, you all know that helping these kids work through problems and figure life out, it helps us too. It helps us to see where we were and how we've grown, and to understand how life works and all that. It's very like full circle, because I mean, it helps them for sure, but through it we get a deeper understanding of who we are, and who we are in Christ, because especially in this instance, it is about Christ. So I think in every case, they're both getting sharper. They're both getting encouraged and uplifted. I think even if like someone was down in the gutter and I had to go down in the gutter to help them get through this, like, still it benefits me doing the good, or however, like, I still feel good about it. I still feel good about myself. So even if it's like the messiest thing, it's still like, okay, we're both growing from this process. So I don't think it's ever like this grinding block where you're grinding the knife. I think it's always like a blade sharpening both, because like helping a friend, helping a brother always helps me, always helps ourselves, because we grow when they grow. We develop when they develop.
I think a good example of this was actually like today, where, whenever you asked me, like whatever I volunteered to, speak for today, like it got me into the word, and I was like researching things, and I was looking at things like, wow, like I didn't know about this, like, I kept learning. So the fact that I learned about it means I was able to teach it, and it both helped me and it, it'll help you, I think. So it's like, it was a really good way of putting it. Like, if you wanna learn something, teach it, I guess, if you're knowledgeable enough, I guess.
Or if you're not, you want to get more knowledgeable.
Yes, then
Yeah, you have to.
Then you have to. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, I don't think God is ever gonna ask you to do something that's like gonna make you worse, or like
Worse off, for sure.
unsharpened.
Like unsharpened iron.
Dull.
That's the word. That's the nice word I'm looking for. Nice word.
I want you to sit out in the field and just sit there and do nothing else. Okay.
This is the second to last verse. Okay. I don't know how long are we in. Doesn't matter because we're having fun. Okay, so let me get this right. Ephesians.
26 seconds.
Stop it. You can look it up after, but that's it. That's it. Okay.
Okay, so Ecclesiastes.
No.
Ephesians what? Just
Ephesians chapter 4.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's like a lottery ticket.
Scared me.
Ephesians chapter 4 is like, I almost have the ticket. 25
Stop it.
through 27.
Colossians 25:7.
Stop it. Ephesians. I said Ephesians. You are derailing. You are the
True Colossians.
You are the instigator.
Thank you.
Ephesians 4 what?
Ephesians 4:25 through 27.
Okay.
Wish I
Thank
could
you.
read right
Who
now.
wants to read this one? You want to read it?
He's less distic.
He's what?
Don't make
I got the joke because you said the word while you were being like that.
It's funny. I've never heard of
Proverbs 26.
Okay, Ephesians what?
4:25 through 27.
4:20.
Chapter 4, verse
Stop
25 to
doing
27.
that.
4:25.
I don't know. I just wanted to make a scene so people would give me attention.
I just wanted to go to Colorado.
Who wants to read it? Okay, who wants to read it?
I will read it.
You will read it.
Okay. Therefore, after you have gotten rid of lying, each of you must tell the truth to your neighbor, because we are parts of each other in the same body. Be angry without sinning. Don't let the sun set on your anger. Don't provide an opportunity for the devil.
So if you guys noticed that we are all parts of the same body.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, who is we?
We is you.
What does Paul mean when he refers to as we?
Where does he say
Body.
we?
Body.
We
The
are.
body. Who's we though?
His
You can't answer the
No,
question with
stop.
the question. Or I guess
Stop.
that makes sense.
his sons and daughters.
His sons,
His sons and daughters.
who are his sons and daughters?
Us?
Who's
The
us?
body of
The
Christ.
church.
The church is who?
The body of Christ.
All
Those
of
who
us.
believe that Jesus was respawned.
Humans. Dogs.
The thing is, I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
tired of these games. Just tell us.
It's like what I did to this one guy.
This dance of emotions must end.
Okay, that was mostly a joke. But okay, so guys, this is the point. See, this is about getting angry. Okay, so getting angry over an issue is easy. However, why are we so easy? Like, why does this easily give Satan a foothold? Why is it so easy?
Well, when you're angry, you're reckless
Why are you reckless?
because you just
Because you're
have
angry.
one.
You're very
clear-
emotional, and you might say
Yes.
something you regret or do something that you
You
regret.
have one clear objective, and that is
To sin?
that is to express the anger.
In
When
what
you're
form?
angry, your one
Okay.
clear objective is to express the anger and get it out. However, your brain goes like,
So is
however it is necessary to do that.
So is anger
you
bad?
have to do it.
So is
If
anger
that's
bad?
Eating something that's
Not
breaking something,
innately.
if that's
Okay.
hurting somebody's
I
feelings.
mean, God gets angry.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
where do we get our
And doesn't
emotions
sin.
from?
Exactly.
It's not.
just can't
Yeah.
let it control you.
It can be bad because, like I said, all it
Well,
is
anything
you're
can be
trying
bad.
to express it and get it
No, I don't
out.
think so.
And
Yeah.
how you do that is what makes it wrong or right. Which is why he says, "Be angry, but don't stay angry,
Yeah.
and don't lash out at
I think
people."
it's
and
important
stuff.
because, I mean, even in our society, we don't let people express their feelings.
Mhm.
I mean, you say, stop it, you're fine,
Bottle it up.
bottle it up, go sit down. And you see this mostly, unfortunately, with men. It's unmasculine to cry. It's unmasculine to be jealous or this or that.
Well, some of us lost our tear ducts in the war. You shouldn't judge.
I did.
So, I mean, I like that they do
Whatever.
He is saying, like,
Some of us cried yesterday at Coco, thank you.
Some of us just sweat through our eyes.
Yeah,
staring
no,
at
he
it.
was sweating through his eyes the entire last half of the movie. Sweating through his eyes. Also,
Yeah.
while telling people that they don't have lips.
I don't know, like, I feel like anger is like a really easy vessel to just like outpour whatever you have on the inside. And if you have something negative, that might slip out as well.
Okay.
I
Like,
mean, with, sorry.
No, you
oh no, it's okay.
I mean, for me, I work at a daycare, so I see anger in its purest
Yeah.
form.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Children are the purest form of anger.
Yeah.
Children's
They don't-
workers.
they don't-
That's what she's referring to.
I commend you. Come on.
They don't have the way to express how they're angry. They just bite. They push, they shove, they bite. They do things that we deem as hurtful because they want to get whatever's happening to them to stop.
Mhm.
And they think, okay, they're biting me, I gotta bite them back.
Yeah.
Gotta bite them back. That's
Um,
exactly how I feel.
And we,
An eye
you
for an
know,
eye.
Yeah.
as a kid, you don't know right from wrong until someone comes in and is like, that's not right here.
This is right from wrong.
And a lot of times, we have to tell our kids, use your words, use your words. They say stop, they say no. But, you know, we all get into this point where we don't know how to express ourselves. People with depression, a lot of times, or in some cases, they don't have that outlet. They don't have that person to talk to. They don't have that calming thing. Just like we talked about, I don't know who said it, about like, instead of marijuana, let's go to the movies.
Oh.
Yes, you.
No, Derek.
Well, Derek did the marijuana movie thing. You said
But
the
he's got
Marijuana.
marijuana.
I was the
You're the marijuana guy.
yeah. That's the reputation I want this church.
Yeah.
Smoke marijuana, go to the movie. That's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Go watch Coco sweat through your eyes.
What question did I ask?
Whoa.
I think she had a point.
Those skeletons have lips.
She had a point.
Anger, something about sin. Yeah. Anger not being terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
it's-
is anger a bad thing?
Basically, like from what I can gather, like anger is like whatever it is, it's an overflow of the heart. So whatever you put in, whatever you put in your heart, it overflows when you get angry. It's like basically it's a passionate form of emotion.
Yeah.
It's
That's why
the
there's-
mirror side. No, it's
Is
not.
that why there's crime of passion?
Yes.
Yeah, hate, anger.
I was gonna say you can have.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it was like the other side of passion, but it's not. Like not like that. Not that side of passion, but that side. Yeah.
And what's weird is I understand what he's saying.
No, what is
I'll
it?
try
Passion
that
like
here
there's
for a
I
love,
was, but
and then there's
but-
passion like there's anger.
No.
I
Well, no,
understand
but-
exactly what you're talking about.
No, because it's not the next door neighbor to passion, and it's not the basement neighbor to passion. It's
a-
something that can be passionate.
It's
You
the
can be
process of
passionately
repulsion.
angry. That's another word for hate.
That's also crime of passion.
Maybe
Well, that's where a lot of
So
people get
there
killed.
is there's this thing called fight or flight, and when people get angry, when they get to this point where they see red, there's two options: fight or flight. And oftentimes, kids specifically, they don't have the ability to figure out how to get out
They
of
can't
that.
run, they just fall.
So like,
They just fall.
so this fight or flight thing is like a big deal. And as you get older, you learn how to deal with these things. So what it's talking about is it's okay to be angry. If Grant slaps me and starts beating me, it's okay for me to get angry.
I would do that.
But
Oh my god.
but what it's talking about is in this anger, learn to control what happens next. Don't sin.
Control the situation. Don't become a part of it.
Yeah.
Put
No,
that
it's,
away.
honestly, so fight or flight, as it goes, like I've always been a proponent of flight, just because I don't like
I'm more of
fighting
a, like a
necessarily.
more like a reflective flight kind of guy. You know?
But
Reflective.
there are people who get angry and then like they have explosive fights. Some of your parents are probably that way. They yell at each other, they whatever, and it's very common.
Yeah.
Throw around the mat and the gloves. Have
But
at it.
this is what it's saying. Whenever you get angry,
Yeah.
don't sin. Like don't yell, don't swear, don't hurt, don't abuse these things. Like it's okay to be angry, but without the sinning. What's up, Eli?
I was gonna say also sinning is an intent of your heart as well. So, I mean, it can also be internal as well as external. So
Yeah.
Even if you're not doing it outwardly, if you're doing it inside.
Oh, I would
when
stab you
you're
in the
angry.
neck so hard right now.
I'm stabbing it so softly.
I would stab you.
That's true. That's in the Bible.
Tender-
That's in the Bible.
a tender
too.
caress.
That kinda
That's
sounds
what
worse,
that's what
actually.
you picture something
Because then you're
still,
like,
in a way,
You
doing it.
already committed
Yeah,
sin.
Jesus said that
Yeah.
looking at a woman with lust is still committing adultery.
Yeah.
You're not physically doing it.
Committing sin in your heart is still
Yeah.
considered sin.
Sinning is
That's
sinning with
That's where the sin is birthed.
Sinning is sin without sinning is sin.
Sin, sin.
Yes.
Okay, what's next?
So
I'm super
Fire.
hungry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm ready.
Let me just turn to God.
I thought maybe she was just uncomfortable with that last part of what was talked about, and she was trying to
Let's
move it
get this-
Oh
along.
no, I
Yoshi.
don't want to talk about super hungry.
Lust?
Okay. Okay. All right. Final chapter. It's the final chapter.
Revelation?
I'm not
No.
I want to control. I'm not.
It's a, guys. It's a, okay. I'll just.
Go ahead. What was the question?
It's the final chapter.
What is it?
Lust?
It's Luke, not lust.
Matthew 7.
Luke what?
Luke 17,
17.
First Matthew.
verse 3.
3?
Mark 3:17.
What you quit?
There she
What if I ask you to read?
I will
So
read.
Is there anything
Lamentations.
else besides that, or is it just 3?
Through 4.
Okay.
I was trying to take it one step at a time.
Is it 4? Yes.
3 through 4.
Okay. Thank you.
What's it?
I just have to see it
Oh, right.
to know that it's
Luke 17.
Oh my god, I love Luke. Sorry.
3 through 4.
He's my favorite Skywalker.
More
No. Star Wars.
Okay.
He is the best Skywalker.
Oh my
all
god,
right,
are you
let's
trying to
finish
get
this
me?
up.
Guys, we're almost
Before we
done.
got
Home stretch. Home stretch. You got it?
Scoop Wilder.
Points to
I
read.
will read it.
Carrie will read it.
Because I want to talk, but I have nothing to say. So.
It's cool. That's what
Luke,
this
what's
goes.
the chat? What is it again? I'm so
Luke
sorry.
chapter 17. I'm still finding it.
What?
Should've
Are
read my
you
Bible.
sure you're here? I don't like it. Okay.
No,
No, I'm sorry. I was
And the
reading
disciple
your
Chewbacca says
God, you
Said
have
Luke
to.
17:3.
Luke
I'm ready
17.
to start.
Hey, you guys, we have our
That's
subject
right.
drawing.
I should write that down as
My
well.
arm, but,
Okay.
So how long do they take before they weigh off?
yeah. What? No, I didn't hear what you
Trying to
said.
put those two words
All right,
together.
here we go, everybody.
She's got it.
Wow, that was an attack towards like.
Okay, so watch yourselves. If another believer sins, rebuke that person. Then, if there is repentance, forgive. Even if that person wrongs you 7 times a day, and each time turns again and asks for forgiveness, you must forgive.
Oh, snap.
That's hard.
So we're talking about sticks or carrots?
Sorry.
We're talking about. That's actually let's do my first question. So, should forgiveness be infinite? I guess.
I don't know. Moses.
Should you continue to forgive despite? I mean, anybody? Yeah.
Yes, because I had it in my head just like literally a minute ago. You want to forgive people because even though they hurt you and they like wronged you or like I don't know, have done something so terribly bad, the goodness in your heart, like with me, the goodness in my heart, I want to forgive someone always because sometimes a lot of things could have brought a lot of the anger on.
Yeah.
That I don't know about or that they don't know about me. So I always want to forgive if they tell me I'm sorry because You want them to be able to be like, I don't know, have a brand new start, a smooth set, like
Yeah,
I don't know, something
like a new slate kind of thing, like wipe the slate.
I had a whole.
I know what you mean. Like, it's in, like usually it's in my head, but I can't.
Yeah,
Squeeze it
no,
in words.
I'm thinking of my. For some reason, I'm thinking of my sister when I say it.
That's good.
Oh,
Okay, it's a real world example.
You should always forgive. Forgiveness should be infinite, but you should not open yourself up to danger.
Mm-hmm.
To
You don't have to
problems.
trust them again.
Yeah. You don't
Not
forgive
like-
them,
not
but
like-
you don't
like-
have
So
to.
you're
Not
saying
like I
so?
trust
Would you
you
guys
either,
would you guys consider it wise to forgive and forget then?
Yeah,
well, that's
forgive,
what God does.
Yeah, you forgive and forget, but you don't have.
Well,
it
do you-
doesn't say
do you
and trust
forget?
again.
Do you
It's-
consider that
yeah.
wise? Is that a wise thing to
Forgive
do?
and don't hold a grudge would be a little better.
Infinite.
Sometimes people.
Unless
Okay,
it's the
well, one more time, 'cause
491st time, and then
No,
you
let's
can
not talk at the same time.
Yeah,
I
actually,
like
that's a
that
great
one.
Yeah, I really like this.
But
I feel like you don't have to forget, but don't continuously be angry.
I
Don't
don't
hold
think
it
you
over their
should
head.
ever act like it didn't happen because
Right.
then like you open yourself up to like harm. But like
That's what he's talking about with the danger.
but you should always forgive them because like God always forgives us. And,
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah,
I feel
you
like
have to you have to know that it happened so you know how to deal with that person and like yeah.
Plus, it's just like draining to not forgive someone. Can you imagine like 30 years down the road?
So
you're
many,
like,
yeah.
I'm
so
still
many-
angry at them. I'm gonna physically be
yeah.
angry. Like I can't be angry
Okay,
after like 12
it takes
hours.
a
I'm like,
lot more. Sorry, I didn't mean to like.
no, you're good.
It takes a lot more energy to like hold a grudge and be angry with somebody than it does to
just like forget it.
kind of, like not necessarily forget, but to learn from it and to like work together as two people instead of one angry person, one like person.
Yeah, I
Can,
mean,
can you do that one more time? Can you repeat it back?
stop. Don't encourage
It's the
me.
exact same thing backwards.
But
Yeah, that too.
what was I gonna say? I can't believe.
I don't know.
But I mean, like as we strive, to follow God's image and saying, we forgive and forget, but we know that man is mortal. And
Mortal.
sorry, I thought of Princess Bride.
Capable of dying.
But what basically, since we know that man is, revengeful, basically holds revenges and essentially doesn't learn from their mistakes and can hurt again. Like, as I said before, like, is it wise to forgive and forget, even though somebody hurts you? Even though, to strive in God's image, we are to forgive and to forget. So, which one is wiser? So that's what I was asking, but it's a good way of putting it.
God does. I don't think God forgets
He does.
what
He does.
what we did. Like
did you sin? Did that happen? Oh, I don't remember. That's how I
But
think of
it's-
it.
Because we're
It's
not
in there.
we're, God's not gonna get hurt because of something we did.
Yeah, I
He'll
don't
hurt
think-
his feelings,
I
but
don't-
like he's
yeah.
not gonna be damaged
I,
over
I,
it.
well,
Which
yeah,
is why
I,
he
No.
can forget.
We can just go.
I'm not saying that he'd like be damaged from it or like whatever. I still think though he like kind of still remembers.
Okay.
There's scriptures
So-
that say
well,
that,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, like he forgets and it's like.
Maybe it's like he forgets it because it's not important. to
Yeah, I don't think it's
It's
like.
not
it's like-
important that you messed up. What's important
It's
is
not
that
like
you
he's
came back and
trying
said, I want to
physically-
fix
Learn
this.
from it, which is why he
Right.
remembers it because you've learned something from it.
Omnipotence is a curious thing.
let's not go off on
I
a
don't know what
tangent.
that word means.
Carrie, will you read verse 4 again?
Whoa, hold on.
Hang on,
for this.
real quick. I gotta say one thing real quick.
delete.
So, so the cool thing about forgiveness and about relationships is that the Bible also says, "Guard your heart with all diligence." So there is this thing that we can do where we open ourselves up to everyone, and everyone gets a chance to hurt us, or we find people that we trust, and we build a relationship and build trust and build this safety that is designed how God designed us this way that we get, as we get to know people better, we open up and we can trust them. And in those cases, like if I met someone on the street and they insulted me, okay, whatever, it's not going to bother me because they don't know me, they don't know what I'm about, they don't know you guys, whatever. But if one of you guys came to me and was like, "Hey, Derek, we need to talk about this. You're the worst," and like whatever, that would hurt. That would hurt, right? It would.
Yeah, because you trust.
Because I trust you guys, and I know you guys,
Yeah.
and so it's this thing where we surround ourselves with people that can speak into our lives and that we trust. Otherwise, just like Cassie's experienced a lot of her life from what I've heard, is that people can hurt you if you let everyone influence you, everyone speak into your life, and so you just have to make sure that the people that you let in are trustworthy, are honorable and trustworthy enough to have a piece of your emotions. Like I don't know. Does that make sense? I feel like that's a
I understand.
It does.
fairly
Yeah,
abstract
yeah,
concept.
guarding your heart with diligence. That makes sense in reference to, I guess. Yeah.
But like always forgive. Like if some guy on the street insults me, okay, fine, yeah, whatever. Doesn't bother me. But if you hold on to it, that's poison. Like the Bible does say that holding on to unforgiveness is.
It's like drinking poison.
My sister.
And
said-
expecting the other person to die from it. Yeah.
My sister.
That's not the Bible. That's not
tells
the Bible.
me.
But
That's the Bible, yeah.
But
My
it's
sister,
good.
whatever she says, whatever she says. Oh, she says I'm ugly all the time. I'm like, we have the same face. Like, cause it's the truth. We have the same face.
It seems like more like a dig, a comeback, but
You have an identical.
it's good.
Okay.
Kind of like me and Moses.
Basically.
Yeah.
You're so ugly. Just kidding. We have the same face.
I'm so lost.
It's okay. You know what? You won't get offended by that, but there's two
Carrie,
of
did you
you.
read? Okay,
I'm
guys.
the better one.
Last question. This is the last question of the night.
Guys, it's almost over.
Carrie, would you,
stop
would
it.
you read verse 4 for me?
What?
The verse 4.
This is the question. You want me
Yeah.
to read the verse?
I want you to read verse so people can remember what.
Find a 4 and then read what comes after
I
that.
got it.
Okay.
I'm super hungry, man.
Okay.
So let's hurry this
Almost
up.
done.
I don't think that's a part of it.
Stop! Just get away, okay?
French fries, Carrie.
Even if that person wrongs you 7 times a day and each time turns again and asks for forgiveness, you must forgive.
What was that verse 3? Come on, reading verse 3 again.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought I was dyslexic.
She's the first 3 again. And maybe it's that one.
Be quiet, please. Thank you. So watch yourselves. If another believer sins, rebuke that person, even if there is repentance.
Even though
Forgive.
even though it does mention believers, can we in turn use it for non-believers? Like, is it possible to use the same methods?
Well, yeah,
I think so.
Sure.
How else are you gonna prove that you're a Christian?
All right.
If you're like you don't believe in God, so I'm not gonna forgive
So I
you.
can shoot.
So would they be open to that? Would they be understanding of rebuking them? I guess.
I don't think the rebuking part, that's that's specifically, I believe, for people that agree with each other as
So
far
what
as
does rebuke mean?
I kind of agree.
to correct somebody.
Yeah, it's too. Yeah.
You're wrong.
I know, you can't, if somebody that doesn't know something, you can't remind them of something they don't know.
Well, yeah.
Rebuking somebody is reminding them of something.
Essentially, you're saying like
Remember what the Bible
you hold
says.
someone up to your level of morality, which is oftentimes the Bible in our cases. But people who don't believe, their level of morality is way different than what we have internally. So if we rebuke someone to our standards that does not believe, then it's like saying, "Hey, I live this way, and you spent money on a Tootsie Roll."
Yeah.
Like you're sinning because you spent whatever. But it's like, no, this is how
That
they
was
eat
tithing money.
I don't like those types of
Yeah.
Christians, and there are those types of Christians out there,
everywhere.
and it's so
What types?
irritating. Like
the Bible
Westboro
Baptist,
Baptist
Bible
Church.
thumpers.
Bible thumpers.
yeah, like
It says right here, this is what you're supposed to do. That's what they think it's about, but it's really about healing people with the Bible.
All right, Moses, finish up.
Your relationship with
butt cracks.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Are you guys
No, finish
done?
up. Finish up.
No,
No, yeah, finish it.
Okay, so basically, the whole point of that was it's like different aspects of what it means to be a believer and the interrelationships that you have with believers that you may confront, I guess. So, I mean, just take that as you may with a grain of salt. But that's what I had to say. So, that's